Welcome to another episode of Joe is completely lost but trying to figure it out with his 66 Mustang. Welcome back to the garage. Appreciate y'all coming along. Today I'll be finishing welding in the rear quarters as well as making sure that both of the taillights are even on either side. The left one is shifted in. I think the right one's shifted a little bit out. So we'll be fiddle farting around with that. And without further ado, let me show you what we're working with. So the car has all new quarters on it, but you can see underneath here, they're not necessarily connected to the inner. So what we'll be doing is we'll be getting underneath there, getting all that welded up. The passenger driver's side is the same. And then if y'all saw last time, the right tail light is pretty even with that little lip, and then the left tail light is pushed in this way a little bit. So I think what I'll do is just oval out the 4 holes that each of them mount to, and that way there's a little bit of wiggle room left and right. Hopefully it's not too big of a deal. And another thing I need to figure out, which I can't believe I didn't see it, is hello, you can see my little finger in there. There's a little hole right there. What I'll probably do is just fab up a little piece and just tack weld it in, or I guess fully weld it in, and then seam seal it. And my thoughts are, I don't know, give me y'all's thoughts. Seam sealing all along the edge here, and then probably putting a little bit of body filler there just to smooth that transition. They look a bit rough from the factory from what I've seen, but I think that's the plan, right? Just seam seal it there, and obviously I need to get that primed since it's already flash rusting and it's been less than a week. But anyway, that's the plan today. So more welding, more tacking things into place, but we're making some pretty decent progress. I've been told that I can't buy any more tools. I just need I just need to work with what I got. So I have a welder, and we'll just continue welding on this thing. All right, so got the tail lights adjusted. So if you look here, pretty flush with that body panel right there. Looks good. And over here, looks pretty good. I'm all right with that. I think it's about a 1/4 inch different, but I put all of the pieces back on and closed the trunk, and it looks good. I think it's about 1/8 of an inch total different if I use that as a center line. So I'm totally all right with that. I think it's well within the level of acceptability. Up underneath here, I got that all welded in on both sides, ground back. I need to obviously put some body fill in there, get that nice and smooth, and I'm gonna put seam sealer on all of the stuff that I welded up and some of these other panels just to make sure. And then on the quarters, right down here, got this all welded in and ground back, and then I had to cut that and adjust that. That's good. And you might be able to see over there, did the same thing. That's all tidied up and welded in and ground back. So next up is getting some seam sealer on there, and I think for right now that's about all the welding on the back end. All right, that's it for this episode of Joe's trying to figure out how to rebuild a 66 Mustang. I need to come up with a new one of those every video. I don't know if I'm creative enough for that. I guess we'll see. Anyway, so I got the taillights shifted over. I got them adjusted how I'd like them. I got the rear quarters all final welded and ground back. Need to get them coated so they don't flash rust anymore. Need to get them seam sealed. And what I'll do next is go through the whole car, double check all the sheet metal, make sure everything is good, seam seal where necessary. And then next up, I think we're gonna move on to the engine bay. It's been all stripped back down to bare metal, more or less. And what I need to do there is probably get some rust encapsulator. I've heard really good things about the Eastwood products, so I'll probably look into that and get that squared away and encapsulated. And then what I'll do is get underneath the vehicle and start making sure everything is good there, get an undercoating on there. I also need to weld in my subframe connectors, make sure my cross brace, I have a Chris Alston Chassis Works X brace that'll be going underneath there. And it also has provisions for a torque arm, which I'm looking forward to, or torque bar. Keeps the axle from wrapping. It has provisions on the X brace for that, so I'm looking forward to using that, as well as getting the subframe connectors on. And then it's saving up for suspension, brakes, wheels, tires, rebuilding the transmission, knocking the body paint back, getting that all sanded, doing all that body work. You know, just a couple, 2 or 3 things left.
Help me, I'm poor.
But anyway, I appreciate y'all coming along. Like, comment, subscribe, YouTube it up. And I'll see you next time.